So today we're going to talk about the Natasha Cloud situation. We're going to talk about the Natasha Cloud situation. And by the way, I can guarantee you that that the entire WNBA, by the way, the entire PA, bar none, are like face palming seeing this, because this is fucking up every bit of their negotiating power. Like, the league isn't taking the players seriously. And it's now at the stage where, because of what Natasha Cloud has said, they can be almost justified in not taking them seriously. Like, there's a reason why we haven't heard, other than the PA social media, we haven't heard the slap in the face in a while, and Stewie's trying to be more positive. Some players being more positive, and then Natasha Cloud comes out there and says, we're not budging. She speaks, and the problem is that Natasha Cloud claims to speak for all the players. She's the way, maybe it's just the way she is speaking. I could be wrong, but it feels like she's claiming to be speaking for all the players, and then constantly brings up that they have unrivaled. No, they don't. She does. The players don't have unrivaled. Heck, a fraction of the players have unrivaled. A small fraction. To be fair, 1 of 1 is technically a fraction, but a small fraction. And then again, a few years ago, we weren't there. We were going to take short end of the stick. What changed? Caitlin, mostly Caitlin, but Angel Reese and Paige came in as well. That helps. I thought she didn't like capitalism, the expansion draft. She said it. They would have the audacity to think of demands if it wasn't for her. I mean this when I say this. Caitlin Clark just literally might end the league. People are saying Caitlin Clark saved the league. The ironic thing is Caitlin Clark might end the league. She literally might end the league. But all of these things where it's like, as a fan of Caitlin Clark, I know she would never embarrass me like this. Appreciate her being the person she is. But like, Caitlin Clark doesn't want to say anything. Caitlin Clark does not want to say anything. Wait, follow. Have I been unblocked by Angel Reese? No, I'm still blocked by Angel Reese. I still don't know why I was blocked by Angel Reese. The last time I tweeted the name Angel Reese was when I tweeted out all the WNBA players' strengths and weaknesses. I think if you say Angel Reese can't make layups, you're going to get blocked by her. I actually think that literally is it. I'd say 95% of the league can't make layups. This is not true. But when they drop the schedule, you're like, you don't know if they're having a season. Oh, I got blocked by this person. That's cool. Sad that she's so vocal and doesn't understand it like a business. Oh no, but she has a college degree. That means she understands $1 billion transaction. And like, I mean this when I say this. I have a degree in mathematics. I have a master's degree. I don't understand the ins and outs of the CBA. I can say things based on what we've seen, but I don't understand the ins and outs of CBA. I absolutely don't understand the ins and the outs of the CBA. And I will never understand. It will take me years of dealing with these situations to understand it, despite having a fucking college degree, which is irrelevant, which is the most irrelevant thing ever. That being said, I have a feeling that there are players that are on it with Cloud's mentality, and there are also players that have the mentality of a Caitlin Clark, where you're looking at it and you're like, okay, we need to play. I think that is a mentality that some players have. And I also think that there are players, again, with the mentality of we need to play. And that's where the problem is that Natasha Cloud, first of all, is speaking on behalf of all the players. And the owners are probably just there laughing, being like, okay, you're saying you're not budging no matter what. Now you are budging a little bit, so it is what it is. And then there's going to be players like Tash Cloud who, I mean this when I say this, like, she will probably oppose anything that's not exactly what they want. And it just depends on how many players are like Tash Cloud. Because let's be real, the players are not getting a 30% gross revenue split. It's just not happening. It's not happening. Should they? That's a different conversation. That is a different conversation, should they? But the reality is it's not happening. It's just factually not happening. It's not happening at all. There is a 0% chance that happens. If that is the sticking point, what are we doing having negotiations? Just cancel the league right now. Not cancel the season, cancel the league. The fact that there's still negotiations going on means obviously there is a chance of them negotiating. There's a chance of them compromising. But then you've got a player like Tash Cloud who says, we're not compromising, who seems to be speaking for the players, isn't part of the NB or WNBPA. And there's no way in hell the PA is not like, fuck this. Why? Just why? So now there's this pressure amongst the Players Association and amongst the players that they can't compromise. There's this pressure that they can't do that, while there's pressure from the other side, meaning saying we want to play, and you have to go and compromise if you want to play. You have to go and compromise if you want to play. And that's the reality of the situation is that you've got most people, I think, want there to be a league. Most people aren't. Most of the players are like, oh, there's an 80% chance it starts on time. I'm not worried. That being said, at this stage, it's kind of time to be worried. At this stage, it is time to be worried, lads. And I wonder if there are more players. I mean this. I wonder if there are more players like Tash Cloud's mindset, or if there are more players with the mindset of a Caitlin Clark or Stewie. And like, it even seems like Fee and Stewie have completely different mindsets. It seems like we're going to be watching plenty of different, or we're going to be seeing people with plenty of different mindsets. And the worst part about this is that, let's just say it's 50-50. Let's just say it's close to being 50-50. I genuinely think if it's 50-50 and there's no season, we could see 50% across the picket line. There's only 5 players that matter. There's actually, like, in the grand scheme of things, if AJ Wilson, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Paige Bueckers, and Breanna Ionescu cross the picket line, it makes no difference. It actually makes no difference. Like, ironically, long term, it would be better if the players are planning on striking in the league. Long term, it's probably better for some players cross the picket line, or split off and set their own and create their own PA. Because at the end of the day, it seems like it's the league split into. I actually saw a tweet yesterday, and it was like the league is split into almost 2. The young players who see the trajectory of the league and want to make sure that that there's games played, because over the course of their career, they're eventually going to be able to work up and make way more money, versus the older players who feel like they've been shafted for years, want to make every cent they can right now and retire, and basically almost want to make more than they're worth right now almost out of reparations, like, because of not being paid in the past. It's an interesting one, because I feel bad for the older players that are coming towards the end of their career, because they might only get a year or two at a CBA. That being said, you get a year or two at a CBA. You still make your millions. So yeah, that's a video. I'll see you guys.